I almost deleted the map forever. Natlan was the biggest challenge of my mapping career. Between the endless bugs and the crazy FPS drops, I was completely exhausted. I had DFF errors and texture problems every single day. Back then, I didn't even know how to export correctly. One tiny change to the model, one click on export, and boom! My game crashed. Every single time. It was so frustrating. But we made it, finally done. If you're ready, let's dive into Natlan. October 26th, 2024, my first struggles with Natlan began. Back then, I just couldn't stop my DFF objects from glowing under the car light. People tried to explain it to me, yes, but I didn't understand it all. Those were the years I was finally learning how to use my own models from my Blender. Yes, the models in Dragonspine are mine too, but it was with the Natlan that I finally learned the secret to fixing those annoying lightning bugs. People really helped me a lot with this, and I already gave them credit in the map thread to say thank you. In the early stage of development, something struck me. I was fixated on designing a map that would give the impression of a free world. You know, in my previous maps like Inazuma, Sumeru or Fontaine, you can't exactly feel like you're in a free and expansive world. But things were different for Natlan. I started developing the map using a new method. Literally adding loads manually. Yes, I had written every single one of those distant objects and landscapes you see on the map, line by line, by hand.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And that alone extended the map's completion by an extra month. As you know, Genshin Impact regions are based on real-world countries and elements. Inazuma is the nation of Electro, Sumeru is the nation of Dendro, Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, and Natlan is the nation of Pyro. When the developers first teased Natlan in the early lore, players' exceptions were very different from the Natlan we have today. Everyone accepted it to be dark, mysterious with volcanoes and the lava everywhere, because it was known as the nation of war and the dragons. But many players actually left Genshin when Natlan was released because it didn't meet those exceptions. However, I've seen that many are coming back now because of Not Cry. I can't blame them though, Not Cry really gave me chills. I mean, just watch this cutscene and you will understand. Personally, I still love Natlan. Maybe it's the mix of red and orange? I don't know. Or just the unique vibe it gives me? I don't know, but I didn't watch Pokemon that much, so I don't really mind the new designs. I think Natlan is beautiful and unique. Even with the Pokemon-like stories, the colorful theme really fits the world of Genshin in my opinion. The spawn point isn't actually based on any familiar region in Natlan. It came purely from my own imagination. I had to think about how a race version of Natlan should look, and this is the design I came up with. I think the place where we first saw Natlan and met our little Sauron body stayed in my subconscious. That memory stuck with me and it led me to create something like this. Stadium of the Sacred Flame is the heart of the Natlan region, because Natlan is also known as the nation of the tribes, so there are many tribes like Children of Echoes. And before we move on to other tribes, let me clarify something right from the start. As I know, some people might want to misinterpret. Children of Echoes is not a name I made up. It's the official name of the first tribe we meet in Natlan. Since I wanted to stay completely true to the game's lore, while designing this map, I keep the original names of the clans as they are. Anyways, other tribes are Science of the Canopy, Flower Feather Clan, People of the Springs, and Master of the Night Winds. Yes, the Collective of Plenty also one of the tribes in Natlan, but it was released in later updates, so I didn't include it in this video. Also at that time it wasn't even in the map, because that region had been released when I was creating this map. So the Collective of Plenty has its own unique, dynamic and fun area volcano, so I'm planning to make a special dedicated video for that area later on. That's why you should make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Actually, I have planned for the Natlan map to have a unique path system just like in the game. The idea was for them to walk and run across the map while you were driving. However, back then I didn't know much about animating those kind of assets, so eventually I had to cancel that project. It's a shame because seeing them move alongside you would have added a whole different dynamic to the experience. Friends, I have to say Genshin is really good at making music. It's a bit like Red Bull. Like they are supposed to sell drinks, but they do all this crazy stuff just like that. HoYoverse is supposed to make cool games, but they also create amazing music. Coming back to how I started making this map, I can definitely say it was the music. And now I leave you with this with a clip that's showing how the music that inspired me fits perfectly with the map. So please watch until the end. I love you all and thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. See you in the next videos.